morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Shut Up and Sing is Laura Ingham's new book from Regnery Publishing, how elites of the world, from Hollywood, politics, and the UN are subverting America. And there are various elites, the ones who drive, for example, who rail against SUVs, but then have a couple of them in their garage, right, Laura?
And didn't I see Ariana Huffington campaigning in a Hummer this week? But that was a little disturbing.
Well, and Barbara Streisand, apparently, they drive them. I can't imagine anybody taking these people. I can't. I mean, who takes people like Chevy Chase or Barbara Streisand seriously?
Well, the point is number one, they actually obviously think they must have influence. Otherwise, why do their friends in the media elite put them on Larry King for an hour? I mean, when Sean Penn comes back from his fact-finding mission in Iraq and sits down with Larry for an hour, I mean, I thought the hour with Connie Francis was bad. I mean, hearing Sean Penn and Larry King talking about Iraq, which is lunacy. It's like me lecturing Sean Penn about the nuances of scene building. I mean, it would make no sense. But because the media elites and the Hollywood elites are on the same political page, they scratch each other's backs. And the other issue, Imus, which a lot of people overlook, is it's not just what they say, and the fact that what they say is so hateful about the American people, the stupidity of the American people, the stupidity of the president. It's not just that stuff. It's the movies that don't get made. You know, wouldn't it be great if a movie was made about, let's say, the murderous regime of Pol Pot, or what communism did to the world, and how many people died under communist dictatorships? But instead, it's always movies trashing the Catholic Church, Christianity. It's always movies, about, how the evils of capitalism, and that's the easy stuff. And look what's happening to Mel Gibson now with The Passion. I mean, they are descending upon him.
I just don't know if I'm going to rush to the theater to see a movie on Pol Pot, but I mean, that's...
No, but I'm saying there's always movies about human struggles and human tragedy. It would be refreshing if someone in Hollywood said, something, there are lots of tragedies and millions upon millions of people who've died under communist regimes. Let's examine an aspect of that. I mean, we saw some of that with Schindler's List, with Nazism, but how that Mel Gibson is having to justify doing a movie about the last hours of Jesus Christ is a joke.
No.
And that's an example of the anti-religious elites, people like Bill Maher. And I know, I've been on his show many times, and I get a lot of yucks with Bill Maher, but some of the things he says about the Catholic Church or Christianity or frankly Judaism, it's outrageous.
Oh.
And I don't think it has a place in public discourse.
They ever clear that stuff up with the kids in the Catholic Church? So they cleared that up yet?
Oh, I think they just had a big settlement in Boston.
Oh, they did?
I mean, the Catholic Church isn't, people are fallible, and there are terrible things that have happened, but the idea that you just wash away all the positive things that religion has done in the world to help people, it's just a cynical, arrogant, and haughty attitude of the elites, and it's, I'm spiritual but not religious.
Some of it, frankly, I like, though, being negative. Don't you, Charles?
Some of the negativity?
I mean, it just have to be... When she's talking, I'm thinking... I don't have any problem with all that. I mean, I like the fact that it irritates everybody. I like the fact that, I frankly like the fact that Janine Garofalo, who's just beyond stupid, but I like the fact that she irritates so many people.
Well,
or Al Franken.
I think
like
it's
the
great.
fact that he and O'Reilly fight with each other.
I think it's great because average America hears this stuff, and they remember who really represents their interests and respects them, and who really doesn't. I mean, these people say they love people, but they don't really, they love humanity, but they don't really like people.
Do you care about this California election? What does that mean?
I was talking about the recall issue back in February, and people were laughing at me, thought I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But I think it's fascinating. I think, it might be that there is no recall after all, but whatever happens, it's a warning shot across the bow to politicians who are corrupt, they don't listen to what the people want, and they don't get control of the spending in their own states. And Gray Davis is has been warned, and whether or not he's recalled, I think it's a good thing. I don't buy this elite idea that democracy is thwarted in a recall. It's a state law.
What would you like to see as governor out there? Arnold or?
I like Tom McClintock, but he doesn't have a chance. I mean, realistically, Arnold's the only Republican with a chance, but he doesn't seem to know the basics of border enforcement, so it's a little disturbing.
The Cheech and Chong guy, what's his name?
Cruz Bustamante.
Right, yeah.
Bust a move. I call him Bust a Move Monte.
Yeah.
He looks like Cosmo Spacely from the Jetsons. Remember the boss? And
looks like he used to be a roadie for Cheech and Chong, and it sounds like it.
It's disturbing.
Well, is he ahead in the polls now?
He's a couple points ahead, yeah. And the recall.
There's no material. It's not amusing if he gets in. I mean, it's amusing if Arnold gets in, isn't it?
But Arnold, when he's in these interviews, he just looks odd in the regular suit. He just looks like he's going to bust out of the suit. Well, Arnold, what's your opinion on the borders? How to enforce the border? Well, we're going to keep looking. We're auditing that. We're auditing that? What is he talking about? It's
well, I mean, he's got to think about it.
I know,
Come
we've
on.
had
Put
3
him
or
on the
4
spot.
weeks. Can he give us a few bullet points?
He's going to be on Oprah today, you know.
Oh, good. That's his big coming out party, I hope.
His wife, right?
Yes. Apparently so, I do.
And then they'll need a couch there for those two, won't they? Huh? Well, good luck with this book, and
Thanks, Simon.
you look good, and the show's
you.
going well. All
It's
right.
going great. It's going great.
I'm sorry I
Thank
don't
you.
feel better, but
Well, thanks for having me feel better.
I only stayed because you were coming in so we could do this. Now I'm going home. And I'm going home in a few minutes. Anyway, Laura Ingram's new book, Shut Up and Sing. And she writes well and she writes funny, and it's interesting, and she has a pretty good point, by the way. Shut Up and Sing, How Elites from Hollywood, Politics, and the UN are Subverting America. And you should pick it up at your bookstore. The best way to do it is Amazon.com. I mean, it's just, first of all, they already discount them.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You already don't have to pay the list on it.
Yep.
And Shut Up and Sing. So it's 7 minutes now till the hour.
The man that is failing the people more than anyone is Gray Davis. He's failing them terribly. And this is why he needs to be recalled. And this is why I'm going to run for governor of the state of California.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, honky better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come up, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump up touch the ceiling. Monk with the funk song, someone talking junk, yo, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the punk out. Imus in the morning.
There's 15 hungry guys out there. And
The hour here in the Imus in the Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. I like Laura Ingraham, do you?
Very much. Absolutely.
I want to calm down a little bit. But, well, she looked at her. I was telling Deirdre last night. I said, last time I saw her, she didn't look like she felt that well. But she looks good. She's a nice girl.
Smells good.
And her book's funny. Again, the book's good. And I just gave it to Dan Jenkins' first page test, and it passed. So it begins well, and she's got a good point. They do think everybody's stupid.
They hate us. They think we're all stupid.
But then I get accused of being, but I'm not one. I'm not elitist at all. Anyway, I'm sicker than 5. I'm now, here's the problem, though, is
What?
nah, there's no point in going into it. I'm sick of leaving it at that. I mean, it's just I can't. We're in an environment here now. Are they trying to do something about the environment? I met the architect on Friday. They're going to think about trying to build new studios or whatever.
Yeah.
But that doesn't solve the problem this morning.
No.
Or the reason that I am sick. One of the reasons is this. I lived all summer in a house with 10 kids, and a different 10 kids every 10 days. And some of them they all have cancer, but some of them are sick. They have colds. I haven't got it.
Sure.
Nothing because it's a healthy and they're not listening here, and they don't get it. Anyway, that's enough of that. Bo Dietl's coming up, and then I have some other stuff. And a big fight, of course. October 2nd, tickets go on sale Wednesday morning.
All right.
And you can only buy 4 tickets. You can only buy by telephone beginning Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. And they're $500 each, and all of the money, 100% of it goes to the Imus Ranch for kids with cancer. It's a working cattle ranch for kids with cancer. In which we had 7 inches of rain out there in 2 days, and it washed out about 2,000 feet of fence.
Really? No kidding.
It flooded one of the wells. I mean, it's just...
Oh, my God.
So every time it's almost like your house. Every time you turn around, you got to fix something.
Absolutely. Jesus.
So raising money will help. I mean, it's always whatever. And it costs more to feed the cattle and the horses than it does the kids. Anyway, it's time for the news and all that. And here with it is Chuck McCord. What's going on in the world, Charles?
Hurricane Isabel, man, it has weakened a little bit, but it is still a monster. The storm has sustained winds of 150 miles an hour as it churns west-northwest toward a meeting sometime with the U.S. East Coast somewhere later on this week. Isabel is now down to Category 4, and experts say it would have been unusual for it to maintain its former Category 5 strength as it moves toward cooler water.
Well, what are people in Norfolk and down on the Jersey Shore and all this? What are they doing? I mean,
Getting ready.
North Carolina, they get in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely. They are, buying plywood to board up windows, packing in some water for 3 days, and, batteries and that kind of stuff, stocking up on essentials that would be necessary to cover about a 3-day power outage, which is generally what they advise you to do.
What should we do along the coast of Connecticut, for example?
Well, it depends, I-Man, on what, what they see, say, in the next 12 to 24 hours. They'll certainly be better able to tell you what you ought to be doing, whether you can be particularly concerned or not.
How about in Manhattan?
Same thing, same story. For the tri-state area, for the metropolitan area.
Right.
It's just too early to say right now.
Right.
Although one meteorologist with the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Chrissy Williams, said that models showed the storm weakening, as we just explained, over the next 3 days or so, but hitting the East Coast, according to their model, their latest computer model, somewhere between North Carolina and New Jersey, with 130, 135 mile-an-hour winds late on Wednesday into early Thursday. There are other models that show it not coming in, though, until sometime later on Thursday. So this is the earliest I've seen a projection for late Wednesday into early Thursday. So we have to see. Don't know what to tell you. The American Red Cross says now is not the time to panic, but it is the time, as you were just asking, to prepare.
Of course, we're always trying to stay in constant communication in the event that there's some potential flooding or down power lines, or there's some folks that have to be evacuated.
Red Cross spokesperson Ruth Tyler says stock up on water, as we were just saying, canned goods, make sure your flashlights work, you got a battery-powered radio and stuff like that. FEMA is also deploying emergency teams all along the East Coast just to have people, in the region and ready when and if the thing comes into some particular area. Also in the headlines, Secretary of State Powell touring the evidence of a brutal regime. Secretary Powell has visited a mass grave that represents perhaps the single biggest human rights abuse of Saddam Hussein's dictatorship, the chemical weapons murder of some 5,000 people by cyanide gas 15 years ago. It was there that Saddam took revenge on the population up in the Kurdish area for the Kurds' perceived backing of Iran during the Iran-Iraq war. Many of those attending the ceremony lost up to 10 family members in the slaughter. The Secretary spent yesterday meeting with U.S. officials leading the post-war effort and the Iraqi Governing Council. He says he's impressed by Iraq's turn towards self-governing, but he says the U.S. wants to hold off on an actual complete transfer of power because the Iraqis, according to Secretary Powell, simply aren't ready for it yet.
11 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning program. Here's from America Online. There's some messages. Here's a new book idea. Just shut up. How ignorant right-wing blondes cash in by bashing anyone with a brain. Did that blonde bag of hot air imply that there should be limits to freedom of speech? It's Hollywood elite unless we're talking about Republicans like Arnold, Ronald, Charlton, Bruce Willis. Who's more Hollywood elite than them? She's so transparent it makes me want to put a gun in my mouth. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Do it, then.
Yeah, do that. When are Laura Ingraham and Ann Coulter going to have sex live on Imus?
There's a picture.
Yeah. It's going to be in the undercard.
Sorry, the I-Man is not feeling well. Laura Ingraham, give me a break. She totally ignores history for her own purposes. Didn't she ever see the killing fields? Bernie, where were you? Trying to figure out how to get in her pants, weren't you, Bernie?
Oh, yeah, right. That's what I was doing.
Tell Laura Ingraham to shut up about Mel Gibson's movie. He's happy with all the publicity.
A lot of anger out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think she just found Jesus, too, didn't she, Laura?
Oh, she's
That always makes him a little...
She joined the Catholic Church. She's not like, born-again nut.
Right. Well, the book's worth buying, so whether it pisses you off or not, don't worry about it. Just go out and get a copy of it. Just shut up and sing. Just shut up and go buy the book. It's 13 minutes after the hour. According to Janice Dean, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are, and this is according to People magazine, which seemed to me to be a fairly reliable source, that that's over, right?
It is over. And apparently, according to PeopleNews.com, Ben Affleck left the casino with a woman. That wasn't J-Lo. So he's already dating. She's on the beach with her girlfriends, crying her eyes out.
What do you mean dating? Have you been to Vegas before?
Yeah,
When you were at the
but maybe he could be upset about the fact that he was supposed to get married that weekend.
When you're at the Hard Rock gambling on a Friday night in Vegas, you leave with a woman, you're not dating.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're taking it back to your hotel room and smashing her head back and forth against the backboard.
No.
Smashing her head
Well, I
against
mean, just but not on purpose. You know, it's just the motion of the bed will have her head going back and forth up against the headboard.
You sound like you speak from experience.
From thrusting.
From thrusting, exactly.
Not in an OJ.
No, not a violent
kind of way. No.
Thank you very much. Right.
God,
It's Vegas, Simon.
you are such a pig. I just can't even. But
It's not a date. He makes a good point.
Yeah, it's not a date. It's a headboard banging.
Okay, but the point
I
is
hate to break it to all the women out there, but that's what your husbands are doing in Vegas.
Yes.
they are.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, no question about it.
Oh, he's gambling and playing golf. All right, sweetheart.
Yeah.
God bless you.
This is what happens.
Keep the blinders on.
It is.
That's why Vegas is the #1 tourist town in
What
America.
do you do when you go to Vegas?
I watch TV. I'll get a nice dinner.
You're not doing that?
What, hookers?
Yeah.
No.
All right, what happens there stays there.
Right.
Well, no, that's not me. I mean, I'm just saying the
You're
average
a
guy.
lying pig, aren't
What do
you?
you, the average...
You're a lying dirtbag pig.
Why do you say that?
Bernie can't whip your ass soon enough.
Knowing me the way you do it, you know that's not me.
Your wife will go to the hospital the day after the fight and bang your head against the backboard with her hands.
Yeah.
A date, yeah.
All right, what else going on in sports, Sid?
Oh, well, it's a big weekend for the NFL, man, and
Big game tonight.
big game tonight, Giants-Dallas. By the way, Wanda Sykes yesterday on the Fox show with Bradshaw, Howie Long, and all those guys, going out of her way to call Bill Parcells a lesbian at the end of the program, looking for a couple of laughs.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And they're all sitting there, Jimmy Johnson, and they're cracking up, and, they're raising their hands and laughing all over the place. It was the most staged, awful thing. So when the Fox guy comes on this week with you, man, whether it's Long or Collins or whoever these guys come on, Wanda Sykes is horrendous on that show. She doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the end of the show. They're breaking down games. They're talking about what's coming up in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and she's trying to get a quick joke in there.
Wasn't she just a guest?
I thought she's on all the time.
No.
Well, then it was a bad idea. That's all I'm going to say. And Bradshaw's got to, he's got to be smarter than that.
Well, I think they just tried it and it didn't work. So.
Did you see Francesa's show last night?
No, I did not.
Okay.
What happened?
It was 3 o'clock in the morning? How the hell is anyone going to watch that?
I will be fine. It's on at 11:35, right after all the football games.
That's exactly right. Well, I mean, the football games are over at 7 o'clock. I mean.
No, they're not. How about the Sunday night game?
Well, the Viking game, yeah, that's true.
Well,
Well, then,
yeah. You're right.
there you go. It's the last word.
Good job,
Yeah.
my man. Good job.
what about the show?
Good program. Very good. Mike was
What's it called?
a little nervous, I think, in the beginning of the show.
Mic'd up.
It's called Mic'd Up.
Mic'd, M-I-K-E-D.
Yeah.
Mic'd up.
Yeah.
No?
But I thought he was a little nervous at the beginning of the show.
Why?
Well, because he just seemed a little stiff to me. And then when he came out and introduced his program, he actually messed up the title of the show.
Well, what did he say?
I have the audio coming up next if you'd like.
Got to fix his jacket.
Yeah, his jacket was...
Jacket's riding up in the back. Somebody's got to pull it down on him. I don't understand. It's like it looks like it has a hunchback. Hey, Mike's great, but his jacket is like doing one of these. Like,
Look, they should be ringing a church bell, right?
I can't sleep away anymore. Ever since you first walked out the door, and I just started drinking to forget. But I don't think the worst has happened yet. All you ever do is bring me down, making me a fool all over town. They wonder why I swerve around. That's 'cause, honey, all you do is bring me down. 2, 3, 4.
Here we are. But if
New premium chicken breast strips, tender strips of our finest chicken breast,
I want to
seasoned
get
to
chicken at
crispy
McDonald's. Yeah.
perfection outside, complete with
Just
tangy
go ahead,
buffalo
show
or
yourself.
savory ranch sauce. Only at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm Janice Dean with the TD Waterhouse Fan Highway Patrol.
22 after the hour here in the Imus Morning program on the radio and on MSNBC. A big fight coming up, of course, October 2nd.
yeah.
Between Berserk McGurk and the Hebrew Hammer. And I bought this table for 25 grand. Bo bought the other table, in which there are 10 seats, and there will be a catered breakfast. I was trying to give away the tickets on the air, but I'm not having any luck, because the idea was to have people submit Muhammad Ali-like fight prediction poems.
Yeah.
And, but they all are so dreadful.
Not working out.
We do have one from the associate publisher of the New York Daily News, though, Ira Ellenthal's.
Good man.
You want to hear his?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
The mouth that roars will fall in two. A sacred promise I make to you. Crying foul, oh, how Sid will howl for all to hear after McGurk bloodies his ear. What next, dear Sid? A charity chess match with Imus's kid?
That's pretty good.
Not horrible, is it?
No, he's good. He's a writer, you know. He wrote a book called Slutty's War about his father, who was also a boxer, Ira Ellenthal.
I don't think that would win, but...
Oh.
Would it? What's your... No, that wouldn't.
No, I disagree. I think it's tremendous.
Well, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
What's the latest in World of Scum, Janice?
Well, the latest we've been reporting all morning, of course, J-Lo and Ben Affleck. It's kaput's over with, no wedding, no white dress, and Ben Affleck walking out of the casino with some brunette. And the Scum Report, by the way, is brought to you by the Oral-B 3D XL Power Toothbrush, the best toothbrush out there. It will keep your teeth looking clean and really white. Congressman Barry Frank's boyfriend is getting a little hot and bothered about his title as old Barry's, quote, friend. According to the New York Post, Sergio Pombo wrote an email to the Hill newspaper saying that after 5 years of dating, he thinks he should be thought of as either Barry's partner or his spouse. They have not officially, apparently, gotten married yet. But
who's this now?
This is Congressman Barry Frank.
Barney Frank.
Sorry.
Jesus God almighty.
Anything more nauseating?
I'm sorry.
Only our news editor.
That was a little typo.
Yeah, okay. Here's Sid with sports. Sid, what's going on?
Well, we talked about the NFL today. Miami winning, of course. Buffalo winning. Oakland, a bunch of teams that were supposed to won yesterday. Except one minor upset, I guess you can say. The Patriots went into Philadelphia and blew out the Eagles 31-10. Now, I did promise you some audio from Mike's show last night. It's a good show. I'm not just saying that because it's a very, very good show.
Okay.
If I'm watching it till midnight on a Sunday night,
It better not be negative.
It's not negative. It's just the opening of the program, which,
Okay.
by the way, the graphics are great.
Okay.
And here's Mike opening up his show last night. It's called Mike Up, and it's Sunday nights, 11:35, locally here in New York City on NBC.
Live from Studio 6B in Rockefeller Center, here's Mike Francesa.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Mike Up.
What?
Well, the show's called Mic'd Up.
Oh, shut up.
my God. Oh,
You are
boy.
such a
boy.
a-hole. Now, here from someplace in New Mexico,
God.
sponsored by Jeeps, my brother Fred. Hi, Fred.
Hey, how you doing?
How'd you do in your
Doing
football?
too good, huh?
No, how'd you do in your football picks?
I was 5-1.
That's pretty good.
Wow. You were what?
I won 5, lost 1. I lost that Jets-Miami game.
Told you that was a bad pick.
What other games did you win?
I won the Washington, Atlanta, Buffalo. Won that game. Won the Kansas City game. Won the Denver game. Won the New England game.
Yeah, that's 5. You had Atlanta or you had Washington?
I had Washington.
You must have had Washington if you won it.
Yeah.
So,
No, all right.
Oh.
Good job.
That is pretty good. It's pretty impressive. How did you do, Sid?
3-0, actually.
What?
3-0 here with you, and 3-0 in my Thursday article in the Daily News. 6-0 for the week.
Your Thursday ad in the Daily News.
Column, I think, is what it's
No, it's not. No.
Well, it's
Your Thursday
one man's perception of
promotion.
Yeah, it's a great article.
It's an ad purchased by Mohegan Sun.
Well, look, like everything else in life, you have somebody behind you. In this case, it was Mohegan Sun, but the text is written by me. And it's well done, by the way. Lubica actually called me and told me it's really, really good. Why are you looking at me like that for?
That fight can't be soon enough. You know that?
No, it can't.
You don't believe me? That might
No, you can't Bernie can't beat you soon
It
enough.
just can't happen soon enough. Let's do it now.
Bernie, why not now? Why not beat him now?
Right now.
Not a bad idea. Be right.
Shut up, Fred, before I fly to Robero, wherever the hell you want. Beat your ass, too.
Have some respect for Fred Imus, who's been on the program for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Your fat
You
mouth.
look like you don't believe me that Mike Lubica called me this week and told me my column is good. So.
No, he didn't call you.
Okay, we'll see.
What else going on? What's going on there at the Bear, Fred?
Well, just playing them country classics, you know.
Yeah.
Played about an hour of Johnny Cash on Friday.
Right.
Unlike most of these country stations that probably haven't played him in 20 years, you know.
Sure.
I play him all the time anyway.
Right.
Which I pointed out to people, you know. Just didn't jump on the bandwagon because he died, you know.
Sure. I've never heard you mention Johnny Cash ever. I've never heard you mention Johnny Cash. I've never heard you even talk about a Johnny Cash song ever. You talk about that guy from El Paso you used to like. What's his name?
Gene Watson?
You talk about Gene Watson and some other doofus.
Vern Gosdin.
Yeah, you've never mentioned Johnny Cash ever.
Well,
what's your favorite Johnny Cash song?
Oh, shoot. Well, I guess Folsom Prison Blues.
Well, see, that's it. I mean, every yuppie on the planet would pick Folsom Prison Blues.
Folsom Prison Blues.
I mean, that's just so... you're such a...
Well, I like Ballad of a Teenage Queen. I Walked the Line. I like Jackson with June Carter.
Oh, God.
I know them all.
Oh, God. Who wrote Sunday Morning Coming Down?
Oh, Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
Ooh. Which I pointed out, by the way, when I played that record.
Right.
All right. Okay. Yeah,
I'm on top of it.
Yeah. Way to go, Fred. What else going on? We don't have a lot of time.
You don't have... This blonde walking down the street kind of looks like Laura Ingraham.
We're sick of these jokes, too, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
And anyway, this blonde's walking down the sidewalk, and about 50 yards in front of her, she sees this banana peel laying out there.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, no, here we go again.
What? Here what?
Here we go again.
How'd that go?
What?
Did you get that, Lou?
No,
Do you, Charles?
I thought Fred fell asleep in the middle of the joke.
I'll have to think about it.
What does that mean, Fred?
Well, she's going to slip on the banana peel. You know?
I see.
The blonde, stupid joke.
Yeah. Okay.
She sees that she's not going to avoid it. She's going to step on it no matter what. All right.
I don't have a follow-up joke, which is
Give me some tapes of your show, Fred.
sometimes when you have these jokes that you're not sure of,
Yeah.
you like to have a follow-up, you know.
What was Johnny Cash's biggest selling record?
A Boy Named Sue.
Well,
Pretty
not
good.
bad.
Hey.
That's pretty
Written by Joe Silverstein,
Yeah.
and it made it to number 2 on the rock and roll charts.
What was the flip side of that?
Yeah. What was his first record for Sun Records?
I believe it was either, I don't think it was I Walked the Line. It might have been Ballad of a Teenage Queen.
No, it wasn't. It was Hey Porter.
Hey Porter.
Yeah,
You
so,
idiot.
You got to
moron.
Come on.
You know anything. Yeah, you know anything about country music. Fred, sponsored by Jeep. Sid's not sponsored by anybody. Janice either.
The 2003 Lincoln LS V8 and BMW 540i recently went head-to-head in AMCI-certified handling tests. The result? The Lincoln LS V8 out-slalomed, out-cornered, and had better handling performance than a 2003 BMW 540i. It's no wonder. The Lincoln LS offers a Formula One-inspired suspension and a 280-horsepower V8 that lets you go from 0 to 60 in 6.42 seconds. And just announced, drive Lincoln LS V8 Sport with power moonroof for $379 a month for 38 months. Red carpet option purchase. $18.99 cash due at signing. Lincoln. Travel well. 0 to 60 based on AMCI certified testing of the 2003 Lincoln LS V8. Call 1-800-434-6060 for details. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. Excludes taxes, title, and registration. Take delivery from dealer stock by 9/30/2003. Residency restrictions apply. Offers subject to change. See your tri-state Lincoln Mercury dealer for complete details.
New York City
Actor into one fun hun. Well, first, we think wardrobe. Now, Mr. Schwarzenegger's daddy was a fan of armbands. And if you listen to some of his colleague Mr. Universes of color, Arnie should be shopping for designer sheets to place over the head. Ouch. But instead of fashion, I think he's more in need of a PR makeover. And by that, I mean public relations, not one done by Jennifer Lopez. This Oprah Winfrey Show appearance is a good thing for him. I just hope he'll be able to pronounce his last name in such a way that she doesn't get offended. Twice. Now, initially, I thought he needed to drop a few pounds, namely his wife, Maria. I mean, she's 140 if she's an ounce, half of which is forehead. And I don't think he needs her doing a wig out on him like she did on John McCain a few years back. But she does possess a princely political pedigree, and her mommy, Eunice Shriver, just came out in support of her Hitler hubby, which is quite an endorsement if you don't take into account that Arnold's known for that physical fitness thing. And if Eunice loses any more weight, Sally Struthers is going to start doing public service spots for her. I mean, I used to think you can't be too rich or too thin, but Jesus, break a 20 and buy yourself a sandwich, honey. So, 2 predictions. Before too long, we'll have a new governor of California, and there'll be a hot new fashion trend. Manolo Blahnik better get on the Oompa bandwagon, because the new hip accessory for the fall is going to be jackboots. I'm Carson Kressley, the iGuy's queer guy, wishing you a fabulous day.
The most important thing is that we bring business back to California. There are more businesses leaving California now than ever before. When businesses come back, revenue comes back. When revenue comes back, we can afford all kinds of different programs that are very important.
It's not my nature to be patient. I jump every river I cross. Not one for following sensible signs. I can't count the times I've been lost. Well, you can't see where you're going in a pouring rain. When you're running into walls, feeling no pain. We all owe dues to the devil, and I paid mine. Took a while to get here, but I'm right on time.
We don't all agree on many things, but we can all agree that education and music make life really... Just $29.95 a month. SB Sports. Cowboy. Cowboy.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with grips and fake breasts. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint. Buy an old drop top, find a spot for pimp. Then I'm a kid, rock it up and down your block with a bottle of scotch and watch lots of crotch. Buy a yacht with a flag saying chillin' the most. Then rock that bitch up and down the coast. Give a toast to the sun, drink with the stars. Get thrown in the mix and tossed out of bars. Fifth to Tijuana, I wanna roam, find Motown, tellin' fools to come back home. Start an escort service for all the right reasons and set up shop at the top of Four Seasons. Kid rockin', I'm the real laid back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby. West Coast city with the boom. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Ride that night, fuck my sleep all day. Cowboy, baby. I can smell the fish from a mile away. Cowboy.
Hollywood and running.
Imus in the morning.
The 2003 Lincoln.
Went here a couple times, and
Yeah.
every time you pick the paper up, someone farts dying of pneumonia, and I'm not going to be one of them.
Yep.
Could be something else, but obviously will be something else at some point. But at least according to him, I don't have, so I don't have pneumonia this time. But I can't breathe in the studio, and he said, well, what are they? Because he and Dr. Matthew both are greatly concerned about the environment here, not just for me, but for you people, but particularly for somebody who has a compromised breathing situation. I can't breathe in here. And are they trying to do something? Yes, they are. But not today, because it's unrealistic to think they could do something today. But they're going to have to.
But it doesn't help your situation at all.
You might ask, well, why did I come to work today?
Why did you come to work today?
Because I feel a responsibility to the radio station and to the MSNBC people.
That's admirable, man.
And I'm going to give them an opportunity to figure something else out. How come I can't go over to MSNBC, do the show from there?
Yeah,
That's an excellent question.
Why couldn't that happen? In a limo, I can go anywhere.
Of course you can.
Hey, did I tell you about Little Shop of Horrors? I guess I did yesterday, right?
Yep.
You know, I just was thinking about this. A Little Shop of Horrors, which is this Jerry Zach's musical on Broadway, right across the street, on 52nd Street, right across from Hairspray, which I also heard was great, from people on the crew of Little Shop of Horrors. But I don't think, Deirdre and I and Wyatt went, and he's 5 years old, and he's just a 5-year-old, you know, he's a dopey 5-year-old kid. And he sat there for 2 hours and never took his eyes off the stage.
Pretty surprising.
What does that tell you?
There you go.
It is so good, I can't. And I saw the movie, which I just thought was tedious. There's no happy ending in this one, but you don't care. The plant eats everybody, and you want it to.
Excellent.
You want the plant to eat everybody. Well, you don't give away the ending to it.
Now, why are you giving away the ending?
Well, now it's ruined. No, it's not ruined. It's so great. It's so great. And now, if you don't,
could have been more great if you had done that.
No, but if you don't get,
Jesus,
if you don't get tickets now, it's in previews now. I don't know how you're going to get tickets for it. And the audiences, they're screaming from the overture. What's the plant's name? Britney Spears? Oh, Audrey too. It's too good. And now you say, well, why are you promoting this? This is because Rob's in it or Jerry Zach's? No, I mean,
not what we're saying. We're saying,
well, obviously, I love Rob, but
He's altruistic endeavor on the I-Man's part.
it's fabulous. And here's how I covered myself, and Deirdre too. We said when we went, I said to Rob, we have Wyatt with us, and we may not be able to come backstage because we have to go to Connecticut, you know, when it's done. Covering ourselves, because if it was just okay, whatever, I just don't want to go backstage and tell them it's great if it's not. It's not the way you do it. So, and nobody needs somebody going backstage critiquing it either, some schmuck.
Where's that required?
No. But I couldn't wait to go back. I mean, and it's just, and then, but you get the sense when you go backstage and Rob introduces to this, there's a kid who's a lead in this Hunter Foster, and you know, you get you get the feeling when you tell them how good they were that they've heard this a million times and they know your line. Sure. But in this particular case, we weren't lying. Or the same with Jerry. I mean, Jerry's been around. He knows what's going on. But I've told Rob for years, it's irresponsible to tell somebody that they're just your opinion, but it is your opinion. It's irresponsible to tell somebody how great they are if they're not. But this show is, it's just brilliant. God, it's fun. It's 2 hours. It seems like it's about 30 minutes. And the plant eats everybody. Thank you. Highlight for the show for me is, of course, the yellow phones. I think that makes it. But that's just me. Do you at least take your cowboy hat off while you were seated in the theater? My wife wouldn't let me wear it. Somebody has some sense in that. Thank God. If I had wanted, I wouldn't have taken it off, though. Oh, yeah. Well, what about the little old lady behind you? Move. Get one of those booster seats, Grandma.
You wouldn't have taken it off?
Yes, I would have.
If Mrs. Imus had said, take the damn hat off. Is that what you're telling me?
I run things around there.
Now you're talking. Thank God I'm hearing that. All right.
It says your section's probably with Wyatt at school now, or maybe she's not. Look at Imus with his cowboy hat on. It's at the Virginia Theater. Rob is great. They're all good. This kid, this Hunter Foster, and this girl, Carrie Butler.
Yeah.
God, I mean, the whole cast there, the three girls who do the Supreme thing throughout the deal. It's a great show. I mean, and Rob is. I mean, it's a great show. His daughter's making him take his hat off. She's there with a little brother.
Let us help. Announcing the Travelocity 48-hour sale going on now. Save up to $400 per trip when you pick a flight, pick a hotel, then book them together.
Tails have to be worked out. I'd be happy to do that. Where are they located? Someplace?
Caucus. It's Caucus, New Jersey. It's beautiful, the studios.
It's across of, what, GWB?
No, like it's more off of like Route 3, I would say.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
How far is it from the city?
Not far at all.
What would you say? 15 minutes?
I would say Lincoln Tunnel right to Route 3, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So it takes to get here from Manhattan.
Yeah. Plus you got Natalie Morales over there in the mornings.
Oh, and they got some news bunnies over there?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well, no, that would not be why I would be going. Well, unless I was going to adopt them.
Well, you've adopted one already. Why not another one?
22 after the hour. Here in the Average Somewhere program. Tickets for the fight go on sale tomorrow morning. Berserk McGurk versus a Hebrew Hammer at Chelsea Piers, sponsored by Gillette Mach 3. So, in that big sports center over there, which is fabulous, by the way. I mean, it's a fabulous. So I went on and played golf, and I was going to play against, this guy. Well, I did play against him. Anyway, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Now, nobody can buy any tickets, and there's 500 tickets available. And there have been certain friends of mine who have asked me, could they get tickets ahead of time? And the answer is no. And I was explaining to Eddie and Minko out in the newsroom, that's why it's helpful not to have any friends, because I don't have to give them any tickets or set tickets aside for them. I just said no.
Works out.
Even Lobster Newberg, we have a couple of all-access passes. So Dr. Bronson, because he's Michael Bronson, he's a ringside physician, but I made him pay. He had to pay $500. He gets an all-access pass, and he just has to stand up and make sure nobody gets hurt. And Lobster, she's everybody's agent, so other than that,
that's it.
Deirdre's mother, Mary Ann Coleman, she's going to sing the national anthem. I'm not making her pay, but she and her husband already given a bunch of money to the ranch, so they don't need to, And plus, she's going to sing the national anthem, so she's working. We should be paying her.
Sure.
So, and then, but everybody else has to pay, and the tickets go on sale in the morning. Except, of course, for our trainer, Randy Gordon, our second, Jimmy the Wags, and Chuck Zito, my cornerman. Chuck Zito from the Hells Angels? Yeah. Is in your corner? Absolutely. And remember, how is he doing now? Remember when Sid called the Hells Angels a bunch of P words? Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, he doesn't take too kindly to that.
Oh, stop.
He's doing
my
fine.
friend.
He hates you.
He loves me.
I haven't seen Chuck in years. Oh, well, they're always nice to me. I don't have any problem with them. So they sold some speed. Get over it. Here's an America Online instant message. John Edwards looks like the fifth monkey Denise. Anyway, we're trying to give away these tickets now. The woman, Hillary in Los Angeles, she wanted 2 tickets.
Her name is Heather.
Yeah, whatever. But she can't come to the fight, apparently. But here's Jeff from New Jersey. He's got a poem. Good morning, Jeff.
Morning, man. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Great. I have a poem for you.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Some may say the fight will last. A better thought it's over fast. Sid will run and Bernie will chase. But only one will win this race. At the sound of the opening bell...
Show was going nowhere but in a positive, better direction.
Had a good pace to it, a good pentameter.
Here is Bill from New Jersey on line 3. Morning, Bill.
Sorry, Jeff.
Morning, man. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing, baby?
Good, baby. Good. Hey, I hope you feel better. I got a short and sweet one for you.
No, you don't. You little
He just can't wait to get to his phone.
I feel better. You don't give a damn how I feel.
Are you ready?
Nor should you, by the way.
You ready for it or what?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, here it goes. On October 2nd, early in the morning, the Hebrew hammer will be scorned. 1, 2, 3, Sid will go down. Everyone knows he is a clown. And when it's over...
Here's Lily from Fishers, Indiana. Morning, Lily.
Good morning, I'm Ann.
How's it hanging?
I'm so glad you don't have pneumonia.
Your peach is fuzzy, baby.
This is my poem.
All right.
Sid, you ain't no Muhammad Ali. You won't float or sting like a bee. Bernie, my hero, so honest, so true. Hi, Sid, you shirt-stealing thief. He'll make short work of you. When at last this fight comes to an end,
Shut up.
kids at the ranch
Shut up.
really will win.
Stop.
Come on now. A lovely old lady, nice lady from Indiana. Shut up.
Oh, but
What
this
kind
is
of
for the
barbarian
kids.
are you?
The only reason you went as long as you did is because I was blowing my nose.
Oh, bless your heart.
Get off my phone.
Bless your heart.
You are an animal.
Oh, my God.
Good job, my man. Good job. Get rid of him.
Hey, Lily,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
No, you're not.
man, but you're not going to win. So.
Well, I wanted to donate my tickets to have you auction them off.
Oh, my God.
Maybe make some money.
Good job.
Extra money for the kids.
Way to go,
Good
Iman.
job, skunk.
Way to go, Iman.
God bless you, Lily.
Thank you, Lily.
Shut up, shut up, shut
You
up.
should have come up with a better poem then.
Shut up.
Here's Joan from New Jersey on line 2. Good morning, Joan.
Once was a DJ named Imus who complained of a pain in his thymus. They removed the whole gland, put the gland in Sid's hand. Now Imus has lips on his thymus.
Judas Priest.
God almighty.
Get Lily back.
Really, you're just,
Up the medication.
God.
Watch out, Isabel's coming.
So,
Get off my phone.
get off your phone.
Here's my phone we're on. God damn it. Here's Paul on line 1 from Poughkeepsie. Good morning, Paul.
Yeah, all respect to Bob Dylan. Bo cut these gloves off of me. I can't use... Oh, my eyes are shut, too blind to see.
I really mean shut up, too.
Apologies not accepted.
28 after the hour. Cowboys beat the Giants last night, by the way, 35-32 in overtime. Bill Parcells, a genius.
I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. If the girl steps up, I'm smacking the hoe. Word to your moms, I came to drop bombs. I got more rhymes than the Bible's got songs. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned. Ain't anyone stepping on me, you'll get burned. Cause I got lyrics, but you ain't got none. If you come to battle with a shotgun. Imus in the morning.
List your Dodge dealer now for the Giant Dodge closeout sale. Your last chance this summer to save big on leftover 2003 models. Buy a Dodge
One of my favorite people.
Amen.
Enormously successful. Well, if you run into somebody on an airplane and they don't know who you are, which is doubtful, but let's say they don't, and they introduce themselves and you say, "Hi, I'm Denise Austin," and then they say, "What do you do?" How do you answer?
I have an exercise show. I do exercise on TV. That's what I said.
Do you do?
Yeah, all the
Okay.
time.
But it's far more than that. She has a whole line of her own clothes, a whole line of books. There's Rodale Publishing, which is a big, huge outfit. My wife's doing a book with them.
I know. I'm so excited. It's a great company.
Anyway, Denise Austin, and her book is called Shrink Your Female Fat Zones, Lose Pounds and Inches Fast from Your Belly, Hips, Thighs, and More. You know, I often see women with these huge asses. And sometimes it's described almost as a body type, isn't it?
Right. Well, a lot of women have female fat zones around their hips, thighs, and buttocks. Some of us get around the waistline. It all depends genetically where you're predisposed to have extra fat. But it doesn't have to be that way. Through exercise, eating right, you could actually firm up certain areas. You could really look good, but you have to do something cardio to burn fat from the whole body, something aerobic 3 to 4 times a week. Then you have to do these specific exercises that I teach in the book, like tummy exercise, how to really work the lower part of your tummy. Or maybe it's the size of the waistlines that really need to target tone and go in, or your hips, your thighs, and your buttocks. So exercise can reshape that whole body.
But don't some women just have a larger pelvic girdle?
Oh, yes.
Which predisposes them to having
like a
babies.
Talking about a big butted woman.
When you're younger, your weight is more in your hips.
Talking about a big butted woman.
That lower half.
Just naturally.
Naturally,
broad,
because of
broader
children,
beams.
Can they do anything? Well, not even that.
But then in the menopausal years, it goes more towards the middle.
No, but you see women body types who've had no children.
Just a skeletal
They're
structure.
essentially young women.
Yes, pear-shaped type.
Yeah, they got a big fat.
Yes.
They got a big
You
old
are
fat.
what you are by your skeleton, in a sense,
Right,
your bones.
Yes.
But everything
can they do?
surrounding it, there's great exercises to improve. All exercises are
So
good.
they can get that butt where it's not offensive?
Yes, you can firm it up. It can start lifting. If your muscles are firmed and toned, nothing can droop or sag. So that's why exercise is such a great way to fight the aging process, to look better.
It seems like it'd take a lot of work to say look like you or Deirdre or something like that.
Well, it just takes effort. I only work out 30 minutes, but I do it most every day. Some days I do aerobic training to burn the fat, and some days I do target toning to really zero in on the muscles, and then do stretching. Stretching is so important to stay flexible, so when you reach for something, your back doesn't go out.
Right.
So stretching, I put my favorite 20 stretches in the book so you could feel good. Get rid of shoulder tension. I give lots of ways to really stretch through the shoulders. Did you know a muscle will stay in a state of tension unless there's a change of activity? So circulation is the key that heals your body.
Talking with Denise Austin, her new book's called Shrink Your Female Fat Zones. That's that big butt of yours. Get rid of it because it's hideous. So
you can look better, you can feel better, and the rear end,
Janice,
that's
have you met Janice on our staff here?
Yes, she looks good.
She's well,
She wants to shape up. That's great. Everybody needs to get in better shape.
She needs some help, a little bit of help. I think, doesn't
but
she,
Bernard looks totally fit. And Sid ready for the fight?
Well, Sid is going to go. Sid's a mess.
Oh,
Sid's a
come
mess.
on.
Bernard is.
Hey, I wrote you a poem for it.
Huh?
Can I read you my poem I wrote?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right.
With apologies to Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a morning dreary on Imus, I was blonde and cheery. Over Sid's stats and curious volume of sports lore, I nodded. Through the yapping, with Bernard came a tapping to feel my tummy. Now they're in a fight. A seat at Imus' table would be dynamite. Did you like it or did you bomb me out?
That's horrible.
Pretty good.
Are you a nymphomaniac?
No.
Sid said you were.
Oh, that's horrible.
Sid said you said you.
I am happily married.
Well, I'm sure you could be happily married.
Well, please.
Well, no, but I mean, why would Sid say that?
Everything in moderation.
Why would Sid make things?
Why would he say that?
He said by your own admission.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what he said.
That's what he
said.
I'm quoting.
That is terrible.
Oh, he did.
Where is he? I'll find him. Come here.
Hey, how are you related to Tracy Austin?
That's my husband's little sister. She's my sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Boy, she is really annoying, don't you agree?
There are 5 Austin kids that all played professional tennis. Can you imagine? 5 kids and one whole family playing professional tennis?
She won the U.S. Open when she was like 15, right?
Yes, she's won it twice.
Right.
So she's still the youngest ever to win the U.S. Open.
Wow. What kind of relationship do you have with her?
A great relationship. She's my sister-in-law. I don't get to see her that often because, we live on the East Coast and she lives on the West Coast. So
is she married or?
She's married and has 3 boys.
Right.
She's happily married. She was on the U.S. Open commentating.
That's why I said how annoying she is.
Oh, she's great.
She's not annoying?
She is not annoying at all. I don't think so.
And Mary Carollo, that's another one that just...
Yeah, I love McEnroe. Oh, everything.
Yeah, I like McEnroe too. Nobody else does, but I like him.
He does a great job.
How does your husband feel about his sister?
What does he
tolerates her?
Oh, he loves her. I mean,
he does?
He helped her, play tennis with her.
Well, like I love my brother Fred, but it ends there.
He takes good care of her. He helps her a lot.
Oh, okay. Denise Austin is here. It's Shrink Your Female Fat Zones. Denise lives in Washington. Her husband's an enormously successful attorney and sports agent.
Yeah.
You know, one time I was trying to make fun of Denise. I've told this story ad nauseum, but thinking she wouldn't know what's going on in Washington, and it turns out she obviously did. So
Right.
What was that deal? Was it?
I think you asked me who was the Secretary of
It
Defense.
turns out you live next door to him or
and
something.
Yeah, it wasn't Cohen.
Oh, you mean my neighbor?
Yeah, next door neighbor.
Well, so how? You know, the thing I always wonder about these exercise programs. Like I go to Gold's Gym over here, and Deirdre goes to that gym, and Wyatt goes to that gym, and and it requires extraordinary dedication. The way gyms make money is by selling memberships to people who then never show up.
Right.
Or if they do, they go for a month, and then after that, they just. So how can you, like Janice, for example? Is Janice still going to the gym? Get Janice in here.
Yeah.
My question is, are the programs that you recommend something that a person can stick with, or does it still requires some dedication, doesn't it?
Well, what I like to do
Not a
is
very
make
good
it
question,
convenient for people, because it's all about convenience. If you can't squeeze it into your busy life, you won't do it at all. That's why in my book I start you off with just 10 minutes a day. There's so many people out there that don't exercise at all.
Janice?
And so I want to get people started
What-
right away, and I get them going on a 6-week plan to kind of jumpstart them to make it a habit. Make it your life. Make it part of your
What's the
lifestyle.
matter, Janice?
Yes, honey bun.
I've just, honey bun, she's cute. She's just so vibrant and bulb.
Yeah, but it's not
Bubbly.
phony. That's her.
So I think that's why you burn calories.
She's
Are you like that all the time?
Yes, honey.
She's like that off the air as
Did
well.
you know that when you fidget, you burn actually 300 to 500 more calories in the course of a day than someone who sits there like a bump on a log? So it's more important to, move through the day as often as you can. Get off that chair.
Do you
and
drink?
get up. Yeah, once in a while. I love my beer. Yeah, I have my vices.
No
But
smoking, though.
Oh, God, no. Never.
Well, nobody with any brain smokes.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Well, I can't breathe because I smoke.
Were you ever out of shape? Were you ever out of shape?
No, I was a gymnast and went to college on a full athletic
So what about
scholarship.
people who
I had 2 babies. I had
Do you want Janice to-
35 pounds.
Denise, do you want Janice to stand up and we'll make an assessment?
Okay, let me see your rear end. That rear view that leaves the room.
Here we go.
Come on, Janice.
Come on, Janice.
Janice,
I'll
we're trying to
put
help
you
you.
on a program.
So you're not
We'll
picking up
work
people
on
in
your-
cheesy bars in Queens.
Need help up with
Your hip size and buttocks, I can
No
help
one
firm
told me
up.
I had to actually stand up and show you
Come
my
on.
ass.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
I'll
It's vulgar,
show you
Janice.
what exercises
Why is it necessary to be vulgar?
Okay, what do you need me to do?
Drop it. I want to
for
see
1
you do that
second.
big old butt of yours.
Come on.
Sorry, Mom. I'm really sorry about
Well,
it.
your mom, does your mom have
You
a big
look
old
great.
Yeah, she does, actually.
You could look awesome in 3 weeks. I could give you
No,
exercises, and
Wait,
it'll
let me
only
turn around
take...
for
Shut up, Bernie.
You suck, Bernard.
Now we're getting
Bernard.
Tough love. Come on. Suck it up.
Trying to help you, Janice.
No, you look awesome. I could do it in 3 weeks.
Maybe she doesn't want to turn around. Maybe she should walk around and take a look at
Look,
it.
you could do...
Denise.
I'm going to give you my video. It's 2 20-minute workouts on the
Well,
one
Denise, you
video.
haven't seen any of
I
it
can
yet.
tell. I don't have to really...
Okay, but I will admit that I have one of those body types, very small up here. I have a very small
I would
waist.
help build you on the upper part of the body and give you more proportion, so it goes more like an inverted kind of triangle.
Now,
so
you
you
need to
more
get your
shape
shoulders.
on
Like my wife, my wife
shoulders.
actually has muscles. I mean, she has big
Yes.
shoulders.
If you
Wait a
got
minute.
Wife is all she's naturally thin too, isn't she? She's
She's a
always been a
runner,
thin
so
woman.
no one
I don't know
else
about that, but
She's very small through the.
but she's
That's okay. You can
buttocks,
still
I've
improve.
noticed.
3 weeks, eh, Denise?
Very
Yes.
okay.
All right.
I promise you, in 3
What?
weeks, I'm going
She's
to...
very small-waisted,
Oh,
your wife, and she's
of course.
very
But I mean,
small, well-rounded, very tight.
But she's
buttocks and.
It's because
You're talking about my wife, you bastard.
Oh no, I'm just noticing if she's very.
Don't worry about her tight buttocks.
Very nice
You
thighs.
animal.
You know that kind
You
of thing.
pig.
So she's
He's been
already
really
got
looking,
there,
hasn't he?
Apparently, yes, yeah. So
Woo!
she's 5'8". She weighs about 118 or something like
Oh,
that.
gosh, that's what
but
I
she
weigh.
does weightlifting.
Yeah.
So she has real shoulders.
Yeah, that's what I...
That's what you need to do, Janice.
All right. You know
Well, what
why?
are you whimpering about? God, stop being a baby.
Muscles work miracles on your metabolism. Muscle cells are very active at rest, while fat cells are very sedentary. So we all need to improve our muscle cells because that way we stay...
Well, we need a
revved
realistic
up.
program for Janice.
This is 20 minutes. Everyone can do 20 minutes in a day.
Well-
Come on, 20 minutes 5 days a week.
She
You
gets-
could do that, Janice, right?
Sure, I
All
can.
my
But
videos
see,
are 20 minutes.
no, you're not saying it with any conviction, or we'll be
She's
back
going
in
to
a
do
minute.
it. I'm going to
This
call
is
her.
ridiculous.
I'm going to let me go.
Mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me. For me. For me. Kindness in the morning.
$300 for plumbing repairs. $400 for roof repairs. Okay. $200. In the upper 70s. That bad weather is headed our way on Thursday. This report is service of the New York Times, serious about finding a great job in the healthcare market. Check out Healthcare Job Market from the New York Times in print every Sunday. In Week in Review, put yourself in a better position. I'm Janice Dean with the TD Waterhouse Van Highway Patrol.
It is 9 minutes till the hour here in the Average Morning program. We're talking with Denise Austin, who has an exercise show on Lifetime. It's been on for years. When's it on? In the morning?
It's on every morning, 7 a.m. for Fit and Light, and that's more of a yoga, Pilates-based exercise show coming from beautiful spas. And then at 7:30 is my kind of like the high energy, doing a little more aerobics with some weight training.
Denise's new book is called Shrink Your Female Fat Zones from Rodale Publishing, and it's available obviously everywhere. But you have so many books. I mean, if somebody goes to Amazon...
7.
Is it already?
Yes. Oh, yeah. My 7th book.
Your 7th book?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was
no,
number
I'm
7.
on you first, honey bunny.
Shrink your female fat zones. Get rid of that big old fat butt. So you ain't a big butt of woman.
And there's great
hanging out at Uncle Jack's, smoking Pall Malls, slumped over a jug of Jack Daniels. I mean, you don't need to do that.
What are you talking about?
You know, John Silver, who's I'm his ranch. He's a ranch lawyer.
Great.
A former tennis pro. Obviously wasn't Jimmy Connors, but he was okay. He introduced us Pilates. It has something to do with...
it feels so good. It really targets the core muscles, your abs, your back.
It seems confusing, the machine itself. And
well, the machine does, but you could still do mat Pilates right there in the privacy of your own home for like 5 minutes a day, and it really strengthens your abs.
So let's just use Janice. What's the matter, Janice? You're frowning? You look like you're depressed. What's wrong?
We'll have a beer later, honey.
Thank you. Bar open at 10?
It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere, doesn't it, Chuck?
Amen.
If Janice or someone like Janice wants to, it's easy to get on. You can buy the book, but what do you recommend for people to do to keep them on the program and keep them motivated? How do they keep themselves motivated?
Well, first of all, find something you like walking. Just go out and go for a walk, a 20-minute walk, 3 days a week. Pump those arms. Every Sunday, find a friend to see who's going to walk with me that day, or the next, like on the Wednesday, who's going to jog with me. Find a friend, because then you feel accountable to that person. Maybe you're...
Do you have any friends who do that, Janice?
Yeah.
No.
No one
Well, you're not going to meet them at a bar, Janice.
No, well, you've got the tape now, so you have no excuse.
I have no friends.
Aren't there women here at the radio station you could do it with?
Come on.
There's so many fat women. What's my wife?
Go for a lunch break and
There are
walk
so many fat women at this radio station, and they're all upstairs and they all smoke. They're all fat and they smoke.
So it's worth it. You feel so much better. You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have good health, you have nothing.
Well, you're done well.
Taking good care of your body. God gave us one body. We got to take good care of it. And exercise and eating right are the two best ways. We know now through research.
Did you join a gym, Janice?
Yeah, I go to a gym.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, see, she looks great. This video will help you with your lower half.
So that's not going to help her, Denise.
Yes.
That's not going to help her. You tell her she looks great, and then she's not going to do anything. She still needs some work.
No, I realize that there needs to be some
work
done.
No. You are just a...
Well, but you're so solicitous of everyone.
How about just civil?
No, but it doesn't help people.
Jesus.
I've told Rob this. I almost got him over. It doesn't tell people that it doesn't help them if you tell them they either look great or they're doing great when they're not.
But I'm not overweight, though.
No, she's not overweight.
No,
maybe tone up a little. That's all.
You're doing better.
That's why I said in 3 weeks she could look perfect. 3 weeks. That's all it takes.
But you need you can't be getting drunk on the weekends, Janice, going to strip clubs and smoking cigarettes and going to McDonald's. I mean, you can't do it.
Everything in moderation.
Exactly. In moderation. Maybe you want to have a hamburger once in a while, maybe have an organic meat hamburger.
Well, maybe I'll give up the strip clubs this week.
Well, no, but I mean, you don't want to do. You're just...
She's having fun. She's young.
Well...
She has no...
Maybe the strippers will come for a walk with me.
She doesn't have kids. She doesn't have to worry. What the heck, man?
How is your husband? Your husband's cute, you know that?
He's in great shape.
Yeah.
He's 52 and in great shape. He works out every day. We work out together.
Did you see the picture of Denise and the president?
No.
She won't let me show it on TV.
All right, I'll show it to him.
Let me see.
A little later.
Can't show it on TV?
No, it's a personal picture. We're
Okay.
friends.
The president looks like he's in pretty good shape.
He's in awesome shape. Did you know he can run a mile in 6.5 minutes?
I did know that, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
That's fantastic.
Well,
he
good
wakes
luck
up at 5 a.m. to work out, so all of you can do it too. Get rid of any stress.
Good luck with this book.
Oh, thank you.
And everything else, and it's great to see you again.
You too.
Denise Austin, Shrink Your Female Fat Zones, which is something that a lot of people, you can get it at Amazon.com, be the best place to go to the bookstore. And then watch Denise's exercise program on the Lifetime Network at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Eastern Time.
Every morning. So,
Every morning. You can work out with me. No excuses.
thanks, Denise.
Bye, honey.
All right, let me talk. Yeah.
If you don't hear my poem home, I'm gonna punch you in your dome.
You're not gonna do nothing.
Check it out, dog. Seriously, man.
Yeah.
My stuff is simple. It's not like these white boys with these college letters, like 12-letter words, you know what I'm saying? It's like, check it out. Fiend at the pier, Bernard and the queer. Who's going down? Sid the clown. It will end in one round, a big left hook to the jaw of Rosenberg, that church-stealing crook. So don't bet on Sid, because he will lose. And let's hope after the fight, the Iron Man goes back to booze.
That's good enough to win.
You in the house. Hook me up, bro, so I can meet you. Then we can get it on. Me and you, dog.
You just won 2 tickets.
Oh, my nigga.
That's actually pretty good.
What's your favorite radio station, dog? Get off my phone, you moron.
The sports animal in Albuquerque. Hang on so we can get your address on. Here's Bill from Newport, Rhode Island, on line 2. Hi, Bill.
Bernie enters the ring looking lean and mean. You can tell it looks lots of planning ahead. Then he's followed him by Sid, who looks as though most of his training is good.
Here's the telephone number to buy tickets, Bill. 1-877-877-6464, because you're not going to win any. Here's Greg from New Haven on line 3. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. How you doing?
Fine, baby. How are you?
Pugnacious pugilist, fearful fisticuffs. Between Bernie and Sid, now with these 2 cream puffs. Brawling like bitches, don't mean to be crass, though. I fear this bout'll be nothing but a fiasco. But naysayers prepare, y'all gonna be sick. Come October 2, the Jew beats the Mick.
Well, I don't know. That's not horrible. Is it, Charles?
No, it's not horrible.
Get the guy's address, and maybe he may win. Greg from New Haven. We'll decide in a minute. Here's Bill from Orange County, New York. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Ian.
How you doing, baby?
All right. Every morning at the station, you could see him arrive. He was 5'6" and weighed 255. Kind of broad at the ass and narrow at the head, and everyone there wishes he was dead. Slimy Sid. It happened one morning at Chelsea Pier. In the first few seconds, Bertie knocked off both Sid's ears. Then he hit him so hard, Sid began to quiver. Now the whole Rosenberg family are happily sitting shit.
You win. You win 2 tickets. Absolutely. Hang on. You're going to go to the fight.
You in the house.
You in the house, baby. 21 till the hour here at the Imus morning program. How many tickets are giving away now?
That would be 10 so far.
That's it. Well, that's all I have. And I have the 2 tickets that the lady won in California.
That's if we award it to Greg from New Haven. The shaky...
I don't know. What did you think about him? This last guy was good.
He was. This last one was very, very good.
Yeah, we got to wait till we got to... Greg, hold Greg in abeyance here.
Right.
21 till the hour. Here's Chuck with an update on Hurricane Isabel and what else is going on, Chuck.
Bearing down on the North Carolina coast along the Outer Banks area, threatening to hit a wide region of the eastern seaboard, at least with heavy rains and also powerful winds. 110-mile-an-hour sustained winds at the moment, gusting to 125 or so. The storm is still several hundred miles out to sea, expected to make landfall, though, in North Carolina tomorrow. And then once ashore, expected to head north through Virginia on a path that would take her west of Washington, D.C., up through Virginia, and finally on up into Canada, whatever remnants remain. Thousands of people getting out of the way. Yesterday, a steady stream of cars and trucks made their way out of the Outer Banks, which are most exposed there, the Outer Banks Islands in North Carolina. Even the Navy taking the threat seriously. Navy ships have been ordered out to sea to ride out the storm. Some Navy personnel stationed in Virginia have been allowed to evacuate. California's top election official says he'll file papers today asking the full Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to overrule a decision by one of its 3-judge panels to delay the October 7th recall election. And retired Army General Wesley Clark expected to announce he's getting in it today. Senator John Edwards formally entered the 2004 presidential race yesterday.
What a joke.
Calls himself a champion, man, of regular people.
He's a moron. He's another sleazy, lying, thieving lawyer.
And Hans Blix says it may all have been one big bluff by Iraq. Former weapons inspector says he believes Iraq destroyed most of its weapons of mass destruction 10 years ago, but may have kept up the appearance to fool everybody that it still had the weapons. In his words, quote, "You can put a sign on your door, beware of dog," without actually having a dog. Blick says he now believes it's unlikely that search teams in Iraq will find anything more than documents of interest.
You know, some outfit used to make a little device that you could put by your door.
Yeah.
That would bark.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Still available,
Sure.
sure.
In fact, I had one of those one
Yeah.
time. Why I did? Well, of course, I was so coked up that I had. I thought I did have a dog, actually. I used to go pet it every morning.
It fooled you.
A little dog, a little bowl of science diet out there for it and that kind of stuff. Anyway, well, you got a couple of questions. One, if they did have these, we know at one time they had all of these weapons.
Yeah.
These huge stockpiles of stuff. I mean, we do know that.
Yeah, we got the dead people to prove it.
Yeah, and the documentation of so either they, that's Hams is right. They either destroyed them or they gave them to somebody already.
Mm-hmm.
And as Ted Koppel pointed out last night, which why I was up watching that,
Dear God, really?
But as Ted pointed out, either we're faced with the possibility that they gave these things to the people we didn't want them to give them to, which was the reason we went in there.
Yeah.
And then Ted had another interesting observation, and that is, talking about Ted Koppel, he was talking about Dr. Condoleezza Rice, who, by the way, held her own with Ted Koppel, which was not bad. Because he doesn't pussyfoot around.
No,
he goes right at you.
Yeah.
So he said, well, was it maybe not a great idea to disband the Iraqi army, which was either 40,000 or 400,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you could have at least used them to guard the borders. Well, in retrospect, it probably wasn't a good idea, but at the time, what were you going to do? Why would you keep this force together? It was going to,
thinking that far ahead in terms of...
Yeah, it's a fair question,
yeah.
But I don't know. And then Dr. Rice keeps saying that, we're going to find this evidence, and they're married to that notion that we're going to find these weapons, or we're going to find evidence that they existed, or something, and they turns out they just may not be there. And there wasn't any real imminent threat that they were going to blow up Cleveland or Manhattan or Kansas City or anyplace else.
They were not poised to use them. And yesterday, Secretary Rumsfeld was asked about that poll indicating that 70% of people believe that Saddam Hussein had something to do with 9/11.
Yeah.
He said, contrary to what Cheney indicated on Sunday with Tim Russert, he said, I've not seen any indication that would lead me to believe that I could say that.
What did Dick Cheney say?
Cheney indicated that it could still be some sort of a connection.
No, he's not credible. Bush should get rid of him. 16 till the hour here on the Imus program. The Fear and Appear tickets went on sale this morning. 1-877-877-6464. They're going as fast as they can take the calls. So if you want tickets, you should call now. And you have to have a credit card. It costs $500 each, and all the money goes to the Imus Ranch, which is the working cattle ranch for kids with cancer, in which we got 7 inches of rain out there a couple of weeks ago, and it washed out 2,000 feet of fence.
That's a huge rainfall. Ye God.
Oh, it flooded everything.
Man.
Washed out one of our wells. I mean, it was a mess. So there's always something going out there, and the cattle are hungry. And the little children are hungry as well, so we need the money. 16 till the hour. But the Imus Ranch Foods, Fred Imus salsa, the turquoise buffalo tortilla chips, and the coffee, we raised $251,000 after taxes in profit last year. Wow. And we'll do more than that maybe this year.
That is terrific.
That's great. So we're trying to help ourselves. We're not just trying to hoggle you for the money, you know. Anyway, quarter till the hour, 1-877-877-6464 to see Bernie beat the living hell out of Sid Rosenberg.
Or you may not see that. Don't forget. You're not guaranteed that. That's just your ridiculous prediction.
Well, we will see, won't we?
Well, we will see.
Yeah. Quarter till the hour now.
Finally, October 2nd, Gillette, maker of the Mark III Turbo Razor, in conjunction with Chelsea Beers and Imus in the Morning Productions, presents A Dawn of Rage. October 2nd, the hype will be over. The trash talk can. Finally, justice. Bernard Berserk McGirt versus Sid, the Hebrew Hammer Rosenberg, in Fear at the Pier, a world big mouth unification bout. 3 rounds, 3 strikes. Somebody's out cold. Who will it be? Who's throwing down and who's just throwing up? Will the man with the bigger beer balls please take 2 steps forward?
Long and I'm lean, I'll make you my queen. I'll take your life and then I'll take your wife. How about that?
You heard it, Hebrew Hammer. How about that?
I'm obviously not the poet that Bernie is. I've never read Robert Frost Stevenson in my life, but what's that? You son of a bitch.
You gonna stand there and take that, berserk?
Hebrew snot, blood, and teeth in those people's pancakes on the table right next to the ring. That's what's gonna happen.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I'm gonna hit Bernie with so many combinations, he's gonna look like a safe.
How about that one?
You're coughing up fur balls, you're such a puss.
Yes, Miss D. But a puss who takes no risks accomplishes nothing. October 2nd, 2 warriors risk it all. Where will you be when history goes down? Gillette, Imus, Berserk McGurk, and the Hebrew Hammer. Spear at the pier. Final impact. And the final word.
You son of a bitch, 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 bitch.
Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big Bad.
Imus in the morning. You all know what a CEO is, right? Chief Executive Officer. Well, in my family, I'm the MOM, and that means more than mom. It stands for Mobile Operations Manager. It's my job.
It was the night that I had a chance to hang out with Jimmy Benz. He also gave me all the names of all those great Jewish fighters I gave you way back when, from Benny Leonard to Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum to all those guys.
Biggest Sid didn't come up with it himself. But you never told us this until I just got this information now. Because Jimmy Benz is on the phone.
Oh. Jimmy Benz is on the phone?
Good morning, Jimmy.
No, he's not.
Well, he's not. He is on. Good morning, Jimmy. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, baby.
The waiting is over as fight night draws near, and the talk of the town is the fear at the pier. New York, at the Chelsea, the venue is set, and the place will sell out, not one seat to get. The bragging is over, the training is through, the betting...
What are you doing? It's Jimmy Benz.
Well, he had a good idea for the Hebrew Hammer. The poem's awful.
It's one of the great
find the boat. He's got to be some sort of hero cop.
He was a fighter, too, a great one. He's one of the most respected guys in the sport.
Well, he wasn't too many punches. He wasn't a poet. He wasn't a poet. So, Fat Roger Clemens won last night. Pedro in Boston, he won.
They both won, yes.
Where was that game with Pedro?
The game was in Boston last night. They beat Tampa Bay, and Pedro pitched 8 2/3. And then they thought they would take him out, but he did end up finishing the ball game.
Oh, he did?
He pitched all 9. He got the last out, and they won the ball game over Tampa Bay. Clemens won the game last night, 2 for the Yanks. And Seattle lost last night, so the Red Sox now have a 2.5-game lead in the wild card, making some room over there.
Right.
And in the National League last night, Houston won. The Cubs beat the Mets, and the Cardinals beat the Brewers, so nothing changes in the NL Central as we get closer to the baseball playoffs. Also, how about this? How about a Bowden blowing the whistle on college football? Not Bobby, he coaches at Florida State. Not Terry. Excuse me, it was Terry, not Tommy. He coaches at Clemson. But Terry Bowden, who once coached at Clemson, admitted yesterday that when he was at Auburn, they actually went and paid the kids $10,000 to $15,000 just to come to Auburn and play football. And his job was just to walk over to the kid, say, "Hi, I'm glad you love Auburn football. Welcome aboard." He said when he got there, he actually stopped it. That policy was over. But Terry Bowden admitting that these schools go out there and pay these kids big money to go play college football. We knew this already. But for Terry Bowden to say that is actually pretty wild stuff.
I fell off my chair when you...
You're a jerk. What do you know anyway?
Let me get back up.
Football.
Don't be calling Bernie names because...
He's an idiot.
Oh, really? It's going to be bad enough if it is. Pier to Pier.
Well, listen.
Tickets went on sale this morning. 1-877-877-6464. All sponsored by Gillette.
I do hate him. At this point, I do.
$500 a ticket. Use your credit card. All the money goes to the Imus Ranch.
I hate everything he stands for.
Who likes the everything about this fight is good. The money's going to the ranch.
Yeah. Pension here.
And you're going to go down. So, good.
Shock the world. That's going to be on my robe when I walk into the ring. Shock the world. Much like James Buster Douglas against Mike Tyson.
It's going to be your robe?
That's right. Much like a couple of years ago when Trinidad lost at Madison Square Garden to Bernard Hopkins. I will shock the world on October the 2nd.
It's a good question, Lou, and whether it will, in fact, be your bathrobe or not.
Now wait a minute. Imus in the morning.
All right. Let me talk to you about Fujifilm. Be sure to get the picture with Fujifilm. Now they've made it even easier with their Fujifilm F700 digital camera. This sleek new generation digital camera has 6.2 million effective pixels, brilliant color pictures, and challenge film. And Fujifilm's patented Super CCD SR technology ensures super fine detail and a wide dynamic range. You'll also love the F700's new continuous autofocus mode, which means no shutter lag, so the picture you see is one you get. So go ahead, get the picture every day with this and other quality Fujifilm fine-pitch digital cameras, and find out where to get quality photographic country and on MSNBC Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. The peer-to-peer fight tickets are on sale as of this morning, and the telephone number to call is 1-877-877-6464, and it will be an entire morning at Chelsea Piers there at the big sports center. We're going to broadcast live from the from Chelsea Piers. The fight will be around 8 o'clock in the morning. Deidre Imus will be there naked. Yep. Christy Musumeci is going to be there doing the news for MSNBC cut-ins, and she'll be naked. Right. And it's going to be quite an event. It'll be on the radio and it'll be on TV. My mother-in-law, Mariana Como, is going to sing the national anthem. And she'll be naked. And she'll be naked. Right. Mike Francesa is calling the fight, and he'll be naked, along with Chris Russo and the I-Man. Yep. We're going to do color for Mike. Yeah. And the I-Man, thankfully, will not be naked. Right. All of the money going to the Imus Cattle Ranch for kids with cancer. And they're $500 a ticket. Well, it's going to be a fun morning and historic, in which Bedard Berserk McGurk will beat the hell, one would hope, out of Sidney the Hebrew Hammer Rosenberg. So you need to call this morning, 1-877-877-6464. You can use any credit card that you have, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, or Discover, if not any credit card, but those credit cards. And 1-877-877-6464 for Fear at the Pier, the morning of October 2nd. Hurricane Isabel is bearing down on everybody, and here with the latest on all of that is my friend Charles McCord. Good morning, Chuck. Morning, I-Man. As of 5 o'clock Eastern Time, the storm was about 450 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, moving northwest around 9 miles an hour, taking dead aim at the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which are expected to start feeling some of Isabel's 110-mile-an-hour winds by sunset today. Hurricane warning in effect from Cape Fear, North Carolina, up to the state line with Virginia. On north of that, along the New Jersey shoreline, for example, it is a tropical storm watch. Federal and state emergency management people preparing for landfall tomorrow. The director of the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, Peter Judge, says emergency officials from several states held a conference call yesterday with federal officials, including Homeland Security Director Ridge, to discuss storm preparations.
So basically it's pre-positioning some assets, equipment, some personnel, particularly medical personnel, disaster medical personnel, as well as search teams.
New England, however, is not expected to bear the brunt of the storm. The threat of Isabel is impacting Amtrak. Spokesman Dan Stessel says there have been some cancellations already.
We're currently tracking the progress of Hurricane Isabel, and we're going to be making additional schedule adjustments as necessary.
With the hurricane, officials concerned about flooding, particularly, and downed trees, which could leave a train stranded along the track somewhere. Information on specific trains and schedules can be found at 800 USA Rail, or you can reach them online at Amtrak.com. Also in the headlines, Monday's ruling by a 3-judge panel of federal judges to postpone the California recall election till March is going to be appealed today. Secretary of State Kevin Shelley's spokesperson, Terry Carbaugh.
The Secretary will be requesting that the Ninth Circuit agree to continue the election and that it take place on October 7th.
Carbaugh says the Secretary believes the state has a constitutional responsibility